Right now at noon, firefighters remain on scene after a fire destroys a recycling complex in Arkansas.
And it is warmer and it is breezy once again across the area. Temperatures climbing into the weekend. Maybe a hint of rain chances. We'll look at all that in that forecast coming up.
Plus, educators in Carl Junction shape up the school day with earthquake preparation.
The 4 states' most watched news starts now.
A late-night house fire claims the life of a Webb City man. This is KOAM News at noon. I'm Elise Snowy. Now, it happened around 10:15 p.m. last night at 604 South Orinoco Street in Webb City. Heavy smoke could be seen coming from the residence as firefighters arrived. Now, crews found one adult male, 50-year-old Wyatt J. Fiker, unresponsive. He was pronounced deceased on the scene by the Jasper County Coroner's Office. Now, there were no other occupants in the residence at the time, and the cause of the fire is believed to be accidental. Well, fire crews in Rogers, Arkansas continue to monitor fire at what remains of a recycling business 24 hours after it began. The fire swept through the Mark Industries Incorporated, a recycling center in the 3500 block of North Arkansas Street. Now, before sundown Wednesday night, the plume of fire could be seen from Neosho, Missouri, nearly 40 miles away. At the height of the effort, nearly 20 crews responded. Now, while most of the crews have left the scene, Rogers Fire remains to monitor the area for flare-ups and air quality. Now let's check in with Chris Warner for a look at the forecast.
Yeah, we're dealing with another warm and breezy day, or a warmer and breezy day out there. Quick look outside. MoDOT camera, 20th and Rangeline in Joplin. Got folks heading out for lunch or maybe just do a little afternoon shopping. And overhead, clear skies. Same from our camera in downtown Pittsburgh. But what we also have are those occasional wind gusts to unpleasant levels out there and potentially dangerous levels when it comes to outdoor burning. So again, please don't do any of that. Yesterday started a little bit below normal, but we technically made it 1 degree above average, and we're going to continue that path as we head into the weekend and next week. 68 in Joplin right now, 66 in Pittsburgh, and across the area so far, Chanute sitting at 70. That's the warm spot. That's our average high. Obviously, we're going to get a little above that. We're into the upper 60s for most of us. Through the rest of the evening, skies will be clear. The gusty winds continue, but it'll begin to ease up late this evening and into the overnight hours, down to the mid-50s by 11 o'clock, maybe a stray cloud here or there. We're going to talk more about the other temperatures we're expecting this weekend, how much warmer it's going to get, and about some of those rain chances on the horizon here in just a few more minutes. Elise?
Chris, thanks. Well, some Oklahomans are suing to prevent mandating Bibles in schools. More than 30 Oklahomans have been named as plaintiffs in a lawsuit against the Oklahoma superintendent regarding his order to have the Bible as required material in every Oklahoma public school classroom. Now, the suit was filed yesterday in the Oklahoma Supreme Court. Last month, Superintendent Ryan Walters announced that $3 million in state funds would be used to purchase and supply 55,000 Bibles to Oklahoma schools. Now, the plaintiffs are seeking a judgment stating that the Bible education mandate is invalid and unenforceable. The plaintiffs in the case include Oklahoma spiritual leaders, parents, and teachers. Now, in response to the lawsuit, Walters stated on social media in part, quote, "It is not possible for our students to understand the American history and culture without understanding the biblical principles from which they came. I will never back down to the woke mob, no matter what tactic they use to try to intimidate Oklahomans," end quote. Now, you can see more of Walters' response and see the full petition and lawsuit on our website, KOAMnewsnow.com. Well, police arrest a juvenile suspected of a hoax terroristic threat in Neosho, Missouri. Wednesday, Neosho police responded to the junior high to investigate a report of a terroristic threat. Now, detectives learned that 2 boys had taken a photo of BB guns that was later edited and posted on social media by a 12-year-old girl. Now, police say the photo indicated that a school shooting was to take place Wednesday. Detectives determined that it was a hoax and no real threat existed. Authorities went on to say if this had been from an adult, multiple charges would have been filed, including making a terroristic threat first degree, which is a Class D felony, which carries up to 7 years in prison. Well, an intersection in Miami, Oklahoma has a new name. This morning, the city held a renaming ceremony of the intersection of Highway 69 located in front of the Miami Walmart store. Now, the intersection, now known as Chuck Stott's Way, will honor the late store manager for his service and dedication to the community. Chuck Stotts had a 40-year career with Walmart and served as store manager for nearly 30 years. Stotts passed March 1st of last year and is survived by his wife, 4 children, 8 grandchildren, and 2 great-grandchildren. Well, city officials and the Joplin Historic Preservation Commission members met last night to discuss plans to survey Joplin's North Heights neighborhood. Now, the goal to identify the area's historic buildings and sites and to make sure they are preserved. Over a 3-year period, inspectors will visit homes and structures to see if they fit the criteria.
Ultimately, the goal is to have the information needed from a preservationist point of view to nominate a National Register district to National Historic Register.
Now, according to the Joplin Historic Preservation Commission, preservation has proven to be a major contributor to tourism and economic development. Many historic districts have stabilized and some even increased property values as well. Coming up, spooky sketches adorn the windows of Pittsburgh businesses. And later, we're making guilt-free apple lovers coffee cake in the Mr. Food Test Kitchen. Well, Pittsburgh's businesses are getting a facelift of sorts. It's the annual Halloween window painting, and young artists from all over the community got to paint their favorite Halloween displays on local businesses' windows. Now, this event was revived after a 10-year hiatus. Now, they'll be judged and a winner will be selected.
We just hope that people get more engaged in the community. You know, we have an exciting downtown. We have a lot of new shops. We have a lot of activity down here, particularly this weekend. Of course, it's a homecoming weekend.
Now, the window painting competition will be completed tomorrow for PSU's homecoming parade. Well, yesterday morning, Carl Junction schools participated in International Shakeout Day. Now, Shakeout Day aims to bring awareness to earthquake safety through drills at schools, work, or at homes internationally. When instructions were given to students over the intercom, students went under their desks to practice what they would do if there was a real earthquake.
Education is super important. Any academic procedures we put in place are important, but the number one job for us as a building is to ensure that when the parents drop their kids off, that their students are safe.
Millions of people across the country participated in a Shakeout Day at 10:17 yesterday morning. Well, Joplin's Soaring Heights Elementary served up a special shout out yesterday in honor of National School Lunch Week. The school honored the women they call queens of the cafeteria. KOAM photojournalist Ty Parks joined the staff for lunch on the high seas.
A mystery on our hands today. I'm trying to find me gold. One of 2 things happened to me gold. Either Jack Sparrow, Captain Jack Sparrow, stole me gold, or I dropped me whole bag of gold in the potatoes, and you have to eat all of your potatoes to find me gold at the bottom.
Celebrating what our ladies and gentlemen in the cafeteria do, and just kind of the healthiness of school lunches. We use this week to promote school lunch, so the healthiness of it and what it does for kids both inside and outside of the classroom. Principals and our teachers, our ladies try to get in there and talk to the kids and do fun things like this. So you'll see both principals here at Soaring Heights. They're both dressed up as pirates right now. Lots of times we'll talk to the kids about what they want to see on the menu, and whenever I can, I implement that kind of stuff for them. We have pretty strict nutrition standards, so we have to offer fresh fruits and vegetables, whole grains, meat alternatives, meat and meat alternatives, milk. But we have calorie restrictions low and high, so I work some fun things in there. I am a dietitian, so I work to make sure that we get those fun things, but not too much of those fun things. And honestly, kids love, especially those fresh fruits. So right now we're implementing a lot of commodity fresh fruits and vegetables. So we've been able to try things like watermelon and cantaloupe and kiwi and plums and just some of those unusual fruits that maybe kids don't get a lot of, and they really enjoy that. School lunch is nutritious. I know there's probably some things out there, social media, that maybe give school lunch a bad rap, but we're constantly working to improve it.
I got candy.
that we care what they think. We want to get their feedback. We want to know what they like and what they don't like, and ultimately that everybody in the school, including the lunch ladies and the lunch dudes that we like to call them in the cafeteria, care for them. And if they have any problems, anything they want to talk about, we're here just like their teachers or the administration is for them.
Shiver me timber, mateys, we've got a problem on our hands. All me gold has gone missing and me diamonds too. Either Captain Jack Sparrow.
Well, today the queens of the cafeteria are serving up cheese bites with marinara sauce for the kiddos. Well, still to come on KOAM News at noon, Mr. Food.
It's hot out of the oven and hot off the press. What are we talking about? Stick around to find out.
And it's not quite hot outside, but temperatures are warming up as we head into the weekend. A look at that forecast and those rain chances when we come back. Welcome back to the KOAM News at noon. So temperatures are gradually warming up, and it's going to continue to do so into the weekend. And at least today, still breezy. You can see that from our camera. Downtown Pittsburgh, shaking in the wind a bit. Otherwise, we've got clear skies out there. So like what we saw yesterday, the northwestern, or almost the western third of our viewing areas, where the greater wind gusts are going to be. But the good news is, as we go later into the evening and overnight, these will begin to die down. And then by tomorrow, much better in terms of wind. Now, it's still dry. You still want to be cautious. Check with your local fire department before you consider any outdoor burning, but winds are expected to calm down just a bit as we head into our Saturday. Rest of today, as you can see, our average high is 70. Some of us will be at that point. Some of us may be a little below that point. Others may be a little above that point, but otherwise we are dry. And again, winds will calm down. So 5 o'clock Saturday morning, depending on how early you need to be up for the Maple Leaf Parade tomorrow. It's going to be in the 40s by 5, and by the time the parade starts, we're looking at roughly right around the low 50s. So a bit of a chilly start for the parade, but later in the day, anywhere you are in the 4 states, anywhere you go, it's going to start to warm up. We'll have a few clouds here and there on our Saturday. Otherwise, temperatures now for most of us going above normal. Some of us upwards of almost 10 degrees above normal. And we'll have another mild, or at least somewhat milder evening Saturday night into Sunday. However, we're still dry as we whirl into Sunday, and believe it or not, we're going to be even warmer across a broader area as we head into Sunday. However, what I want to talk about are those rain chances. Now, this is what it looks like on the wide range future track between now and Sunday at noon. As you can see, not much out there. In fact, most of our Monday will be dry, but we'll start to have clouds increasing by the noon hour. And this system it's still out there to our west right now will eventually begin to work its way toward us. And so by late Monday and overnight into early Tuesday morning, see how limited that is? But at least it's some kind of rain showing up as we go again late night Monday into Tuesday. Now, something we're keeping an eye on. We'll see exactly how it pans out because this has changed several times, even just today. There is that possibility of maybe an isolated shower or storm as we go into Wednesday. But again, this has changed many times. We're still a ways away, but something else we're keeping our fingers crossed for because if it can bring us some rain, I don't think anybody's going to be upset about that. We're at 68 in Joplin, south winds at 11 miles an hour. Over in Pittsburgh, skies, of course, clear, 67, reporting same wind speeds, but as you've seen, and you can see with the flags, wind's definitely gusting out there. Again, upwards 20, 30 miles an hour on average. Temperatures again right now, we're 70 in Chanute. So that's the warm spot right where our highs should be. The rest of us, though, hanging out in the upper 60s. We're on our way to the low 70s for most of us with those clear skies today. Into tonight, mid-upper 40s out there. And again, maybe a cloud or two. We head into tomorrow, sunny skies. Again, maybe a passing cloud, upper 70s out there. And over the course of the next 10 days, I would rather see more rain than warm temperatures, but I don't get to control it. This is what we're looking at. We got those shower chances late Monday into early Tuesday, temperatures upper 70s, and we start seeing the low 80s out there. And as we head later next week, we're dry, we're partly cloudy, and we got those temperatures 10, 15 degrees above normal as we go into the mid 80s, maybe even some upper 80s next week.
All right, thanks, Chris. Well, stick around. We're making guilt-free apple lovers coffee cake in the Mr. Food Test Kitchen. We'll be right back. Well, Howard's making guilt-free apple lovers coffee cake in the Mr. Food Test Kitchen.
One of the best parts of this time of year is that our markets and farm stands are bursting with freshly picked apples. I'm talking about apples that are so good, they snap when you bite into them. And since they say an apple a day keeps the doctor away, I figured I'd share a recipe with you from our new diabetic-friendly cookbook. It's called Guilt-Free Comfort Favorites, and it's packed with flavorful recipes that'll make you feel good without feeling guilty. To make this apple lover's coffee cake, all we need to do is make a basic batter by combining some flour, a sugar blend, baking powder, cinnamon, margarine, a couple of eggs, and some milk. To that, we stir in a couple of apples that we've cut up. Then, into a cake pan it goes. We finish this with a buttery pecan topping and bake it off. Once you taste it, you're gonna be hooked. And don't be surprised if your family and neighbors start lining up outside your kitchen. In fact, you'll want to have plenty of apples on hand so you can make it again and again. To get this easy recipe, simply visit our website and look for Guilt-Free Apple Lovers Coffee Cake, or pick up a copy of our cookbook, which is approved by the American Diabetes Association. You know, this recipe is good whether you're on a sugar-sensitive diet or not. I'm Howard in the Mr. Food Test Kitchen, where today we found an Applicious way for you to say, ooh, it's so good.
You can find this recipe on our website, KOAMnewsnow.com. Now, here's a look at the 4-state market prices.
After a cruel summer, we're looking at a cruel fall with temperatures returning to the 80s by next week, putting us 15 degrees above average, warming up gradually into the weekend, maybe some showers late Monday into early Tuesday, and that's really about it.
All righty. I mean, I can't believe that we're getting back up to these temperatures, but I guess we'll have to deal with it.
Yeah, we certainly will.
And we need the rain.
We really
need the
do.
rain.
We really do. We'll let you over later on down.
A whole lot coming up for 5. This is big. We're going to be live in Carthage, Missouri for the KOAM Roadshow at the 58th Annual Maple Leaf Festival. What a beautiful festival it is. The city has a weekend full of events and celebrations, and we're going to be hearing about some of them. Plus, Carthage FFA members showcased many aspects of agriculture during their annual Food for America event. And the city of Coffeyville, Kansas is inviting those looking for a scare this spooky season to its downtown haunted history tours. Wouldn't that be fun? Join us for those stories. A lot more, of course. It's coming up today. KOAM News at 5.
All right. Thank you, Dal. And that's the news for now. Thank you for joining us on KOAM News at noon. Of course, see you right back here at 5. Until then, have a great rest of your day.